The two left without further conversation. Walking down the crowded nighttime streets, Michelle posed a question.
Was your intention to create a scenario in which that woman was indebted to you?
Mara smirked after a moment, as if the thought of it slowly brought amusement to her the more she pondered it. No, her husband is a bastard, not a liar. While I understand a woman's plight and how they are marginalized, she needs to be clear on what it is she actually wants.
So you mean to kill this man?
I mean to do nothing. I don't care what this man's fate is. Chances are fear will prevent her from killing him. But in truth, people rarely change, so death would be best.
So you did it for the tribute?
Yes and no. I understand the need to live, and sometimes concessions must be made even to my own beliefs.
I was meaning to ask about that, but since you brought it up...
How can I be a vampire and live in secret if I believe in truth? Mara said, finishing the younger vampire's thought. Michelle nodded as if that was indeed the question. If only life were that simple. If one were to always reveal their intentions up front, I sometimes wonder what that world would be like. Mara said, not quite directly tackling the question. Mara paused all of a sudden, as if she came to a sudden realization. I have been betrayed. I have a man to kill, said Mara. Michelle said nothing, but followed along to see where this was all going. Mara walked with a purpose, giving no consideration to the scenery around her. Her mind was focused and free of distraction. The older predator took a turn down an alley towards a building that was run down and without identity. Mara walked into an unlocked door, but turned to Michelle before she did. I sent others here. You should go. This may be very dangerous. Michelle weighed her options, not taking it lightly. But in the end, if she had went this far, why not go a little further? The room was formless and dimly lit by waning candlelight. The tattooed thug who tried to garrote Mara turned around to see the sudden shaft of moonlight created by the open door. He was flanked by a cadre of other men that seemed to be of his ilk. They housed the look of thugs and killers. The thug was surprised, as if he hadn't the slightest conception she'd be there. You broke your word. Now you face the consequences, said Mara. Wait, this man is bound to me, said a voice that came from the shadows. The two kindred women looked at the man that housed the tattoos as the others and openly brandished fangs. Mara didn't turn or even bother looking at her target. She kept her eyes fixed on the vampire who lay claim. Without warning or further debate, she flung a knife towards her target, striking him in the eye. In a spout of blood, he died abruptly, shocking everyone in the room, kindred included. Kill her! Yelled the thuggish vampire. Michelle drew her weapon smoothly and swiftly, ready for a fight, but there was no need. Mara's face distorted into a grimace of pure hatred. She exuded fear as if she was oblivion. The humans scampered away as rats abandoning a sinking ship. Even the kindred looked noticeably shaken. Mara didn't make any harsh moves. She deliberately advanced swiftly on the lesser predator. I will offer you this deal if you answer my question truthfully. You may walk away from this. Mara waited for him to answer, but after a moment he hesitated. She just continued walking and advancing. Do you intend to seek retribution for the loss of your henchmen? No, said the man in a whisper. His skin began to burn and sizzle as if the weight of his lie was acidic to him. And Mara took that lie as justification for her reaction. You don't mind if I defend myself, do you? Said the thuggish vampire who pulled dual jambias from both hands. No, I would feel cheated if you didn't, said Mara. She took 4 steps forward at speed so fast it seemed as if she winked out of existence altogether and swiftly reappeared. She snaked her right hand around his neck and violently threw him into the ceiling 15 feet up. He collided with such power he knocked a hole in the roof, then subsequently fell with just as much force, cracking the ground. His bones were broken, his body limp and useless. The power of his blood stirred, attempting to fix what was wrong, but couldn't keep up with the demand. The Kendrick attempted to stand, but Mara hit him so hard and fast his skull was dented with the imprint of her fist. He went inert, but Mara caught him before he fell. Michelle was shocked at the brutality and just how powerful she was without using very much effort. Mara, with much consideration for Michelle watching her, dug her fangs into the torpid vampire's neck. She savored the drink until there was nothing left of him. Michelle took a step back, knowing that her life, her very soul, was in jeopardy. She knew there was no trick she had to outrun or outfight Mara, so she waited. "You see what I am, and how I live," said Mara, with the dark blood of Kindred rolling down her face, dripping onto the floor. "You ask why I do as I do, and this is why. I needed you. This is the reason I allowed you to stay with me this long."
What is the reason?
Michelle asked nervously. "I need to drink from you."
I will not go without a fight.
Mara smiled as if her threat was mildly amusing, but continued. "You misunderstand. I cannot live like this anymore. I must feed from our kind, but if I do, it is possible I will lose control to them if I allow them to live. I will be bound to them." Michelle's eyes narrowed as if she was starting to piece it all together.
I am a foreigner, and you know I wouldn't lie to you,
said Michelle, as if she understood that Mara was testing her heart the entire week. Mara nodded as if Michelle was correct.
Why not just sleep?
Asked Michelle. "I cannot sleep again. I will never sleep. I lost the truth when I did. I lost too much of myself. I did not know reality. What is real? What is dream? I will never willingly fall victim to that."
Aren't you afraid I will mistreat you if you allow me to bind you?
"Of course, which is why I will make a pact here and now, if you wish to enter into it," said Mara. "I will give you 7 days out of any year to do anything you wish, but only 7 days, no more, no less."
7 days in the span of a year?
Questioned Michelle as if it were thin. "You have seen what I can do in seconds. Do you think 7 days is not enough?" Michelle thought hard on this.
What if I ask for a favor outside of the 7 days, or do something you consider mistreatment?
"I will resist you. Maybe I will have the fortitude, maybe I will not. After I am bound to you, killing you may be more difficult than it at first appears. Though I do not believe you will abuse this gift," said Mara. Michelle saw what she was, saw the power she could wield, and she felt as if she could learn so much more from her. There was really no other answer. Michelle dropped her robe and tilted her neck.
Looks like another one is in the books. I will catalog your responses to this and get better next time. And now I will leave you with a joke. How about gorilla titties? Ha 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 ha. I am Pact.